Welcome to a video on thedigital-lifestyle.com. In this video we're going to have a look at the Acer Iconia B1. This is the new version, this is the 710 version. This is a budget Android tablet, but budget probably not in the sense of some of the really cheap ones that you see, that kind of unnamed brands or whatever, and they are really cheap. This is a nice low cost one, but some decent features. So we're going to have a look at the device, open it up, and I'm going to see how it fares up to my 2012 Nexus 7. So this isn't the new one, but it's interesting to compare it. The Nexus is slightly more expensive, so have a look at the options on that. So I'll move the camera around and we'll have a quick look at some of the features. So here we have the box, and what we get in the box. We've got the tablet itself. You get the instruction leaflets, and you get the usual bump, and a charger, USB charger, fits the different types of plugs, and a micro USB cable as well. But we've got loads of those now. Everything comes with those nowadays. Okay, so let's have a look at the device first. So you can see it's fairly thin, not as thin as some others I've used, but it is very thin. It's got a kind of it's got a plastic back which doesn't feel quite as solid as some of the others you've used, but you've got that kind of low cost thing going on. So it's not bad. It's certainly usable. It's light enough. It does creak a bit when you're using it because it doesn't feel that solid, but it's a plastic bag, and that's what you get. So you've got a headphone port on the top. On the sides you've got power and a volume rocker. At the bottom you've got your micro USB charger, and under here, I'm getting there, we've got a slot for, and under here we've got a slot for an SD card, a micro SD card, which I think is something that's really handy, having the SD card slot on there. You can just stick that in with all your media, and I tend to have loads of stuff on one, and I can't use it on some of the other devices because it hasn't got a slot, so I'm quite pleased to see this. Right, so let's have a look at the tablet itself. It's running, Android. It's actually running, well, in fact, let's have a look what version of Android it is running. So we can go into the settings and have a look. This is running 4.1.2, which is Jelly Bean. It's not the latest version of Jelly Bean, which is 4.3, but that's only running on Nexus devices at the moment. Really, it's just starting to roll out. So it's got a MediaTek 1.2 GHz dual-core processor. This is the 16 gig storage version, and it's a 7-inch screen, TFT capacitive multi-touch. So it's got all the usual stuff. It's got Bluetooth 4.0. It's got Wi-Fi. It's got GPS. There is a front camera, which is 0.3 megapixels, so it's okay for sort of Skype calls and video calls, Google Hangouts. You're not going to be taking pictures on it, and there's no rear camera on it as well. So in terms of the tablet, I've not really installed much on here, so most of this stuff is default. It's running Jelly Bean as you'd expect. It's nice and easy to use, nice and smooth to use. We've got usual thing, Chrome browser on there. One thing I did notice is the screen is a little glossy, and I don't know if the camera really picked that up, but it is quite shiny. It almost reflective underneath the glass, if the plastic, if I can explain myself right. So it probably doesn't look as clear as, say, when I'm using my iPad or other device, but again, you're looking at a different price band. But it's fast enough. It certainly feels nice and smooth viewing, and as soon as you get Chrome in there, you signed in with your Chrome account, you've got everything synchronized, you've got your passwords and your favorites and everything else, so that works absolutely fine. So I've got all my usual email and calendar. It comes with its own browser, the Android browser, but I installed Chrome. It comes with a few bits and pieces installed with it, like its tuning radio, the games, Zinio reader, Acer Cloud, which is Acer's cloud storage system. So it does come with a few bits and pieces that a lot of something like the Nexus 7 doesn't come with anything at all. So it depends on your point of view. I think if you were giving this to kids, it would be great because you've got all these games. Okay, so we've got some music playing on now. Fairly decent volume on there. I guess you could say it's a little on the tinny side, but it's not bad. It's actually probably as good a sound as from my Nexus. It's actually got a fairly decent volume on it. The speakers there on the back. And you can see it's quite good. It shows the screen quite well. Let's talk about the screen resolution. So this is running in 1024 by 600, so it's lower than some of the other devices. But again, if you want a low-cost tablet, then that's not necessarily a bad thing. You're talking about 120 quid for this, the 16 gig version as well. So it's nice and cheap. It's lightweight. It's yes, it's a bit on the plasticky side, but it does the job really well for sort of browsing and maybe the odd game, a bit of music as well. I mean, it's pretty good for that. So the next question is, how does it stack up against the Nexus 7? This is the 2012 one, which comes in a little dearer. It's 170 odd quid. So you can see side by side. Well, the best thing to do is load a couple of web pages. So I put it side by side here with my Nexus 7. Nexus 7 is dearer, but let's have a see how it compares. In terms of the thickness, you can see let's try to do it this way. So in terms of thickness, you can see there the Iconia is thicker. So you can see the Iconia is thicker, but not by that much, and when you put them side by side, really. So let's put these two together. We've got the Nexus 7 and the Iconia. The Iconia is a little thicker, not very much really. There's not a lot in it between the two, and say it's slightly wider. Again, not much difference. Screen resolution is better on the Nexus 7. I think it's running at 720 instead of so it's 1280 by 720 instead of 1024 by 600. But when you're actually using it, you can see really it doesn't make a huge amount of difference. If I load up a page, I'll do it simultaneously, just give it a good idea of how the different speeds are. Nothing in it really. In fact, the Nexus looks a little slower, but that could just be the Wi-Fi. So you can see there's not really that much difference you can see on the screen at the same time. The text is more or less the same. So you see it's slightly smoother on the Nexus, probably because of the better processor to browse. The scrolling is slightly more stuttery on this one than it is on the Nexus. But you come to loading apps, you can see to the processor there's not a huge amount in it. Let's quickly mention some of the stuff that comes with it. Like I said before, you've got the games engine and tuning radio, Zinio, 7 digital music streaming service, and Acer's cloud storage. There's some other apps like Astro File Manager, which is kind of a way of browsing all your cloud storage devices. Movie Studio, which allows you to edit videos, and McAfee antivirus on there, which I have to say I don't really care for, but never mind. The skin, I also want to mention the skin as well. I should mention that. The skin is very lightweight. There's not much difference between this and a stock Android device, which I think is great. I hate loads of UI layers on top of standard Android. So you can see this is very much similar to stock Android, which I think is a good thing as well. I don't not care for these extra layers of stuff on top of it, so that's definitely a good thing. So overall, I think this is a really nice budget tablet. It's low cost, it's lightweight. It is a bit on the plasticky side, but especially if you're giving it to somebody, maybe your kids, and they tend to drop it and stuff, you don't want to drop it in a £400 iPad with glass screen. This is plastic, it'll probably just bounce, and I think that's a good thing. You can fit your SD card in there. It's running stock Android virtually, and 4.1.3, so it's not too bad. And I've been using it for some time now. Let's have a quick look at the battery actually. Battery life seems pretty good on it actually. I've been using this one for 2 days, 15 hours on and off, well, as you see from there, and the battery's still got plenty of charge as well. So a nice device. That's the Acer Iconia B1, that's the 710, the latest version of it, and a really good budget tablet. Thanks for watching this video. Check the show notes, the link with this video for more details and more review looking at some of the game performance on it as well. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video. Bye.